Hello and welcome back or welcome. I am Book Club Lorna and today we're doing the end of the year book tag with only 1.5 months to go in the year. Yeah, I didn't know this was a thing until recently. Books and Lala did this tag and Haley and Bookland did this tag and they've done it previous years, and you know, in Books and Lala's video she was like, I should do this earlier in the year in like September, and I would completely agree, but I only just found out about it, so we're doing it now. We're doing it midway through November, which, you know, it's better than nothing. There's still a bit of 2020 left to go. Can't get worse than it already is, can it? So here we are. This tag was originally created by Ariel Bissett, and basically it's kind of some prompt questions of your reading towards the end of the year. That's the only way I can describe it, really. So I feel like, you know, we should just hop on in. Oh, first things first, I never remember to say this, so, you know, no shame here. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy my videos. And without further ado, here we go. First question is, are there any books that you started this year which you still need to finish? Now, I did start Pride and Prejudice this year and didn't finish it, but I have decided I am just going to hop back into that next year. It's just, I can't fit it in this year. It requires my attention and time, and neither of those things do I have. And I'm also trying to, like, you know, zoom through books at the moment, so this just doesn't go together really, does it? So that's going to be a 2021 read instead. Now, I am listening to, although only 4 chapters in, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince by J.K. Rowling, the audiobook. So I've been working my way through the audiobooks for what feels like forever, and now I'm like in them, like I just got to keep going. I do enjoy them, but I'm just not enjoying them at the moment. Don't really listen to them very often. I'll go through stages of like zooming through loads and loads of hours and then not listening to them for like a month. And I haven't listened to them for like a month. But I'm like 4 chapters into Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. So I mean, ideally, it would be good if I could check that off this year. So it's not a reading, it's a listening, it's an audiobook, still a book. But yeah, I think I'm going to try and finish that before the end of this year, hopefully. The next question is, do I have an autumnal read which transitions me into the next year? I do not. The only transition I have is I go mad on Christmas books in December, and that's it. You know, like October time, I suppose I stopped reading my summer reads, though saying that, I have been reading my summer reads recently, some of them, just because, you know, Holly Martin lover over here. So, you know, I don't know if that counts really. I do usually stop reading poolside reads this time of year, but there's just too many on my shelves that I want to read. So, oh, I've almost dropped my notepad. So it can't be helped, you know. So I don't think that I've got an autumnal read which transitions me. No, just Christmas books. I just go full steam ahead into Christmas books. Next question, is there a new release you're still waiting for? Kind of. I'm still waiting for The Cousins by Karen M. McManus to come out. I'll put a little thing over here. I have read this book because I got an arc on NetGalley. I literally did finish it last night, so, you know, it's a fresh read. But I'm still waiting for the physical copy to come out, which is the beginning of December. I will be bringing you a spoiler-free review of The Cousins, but let's just say, that's all I'm going to say. Yeah. So we'll leave that one there. We'll leave that there. Watch the video. Watch the review video when it's up. That'll be up in the next couple of weeks. Next question is, what are 3 books that I need to read, or want to read, sorry, before the end of the year? Now, first one is On the Black Hill by Bruce Chatwin. This was lent to me by one of my neighbours. I will be reading it this month because, like, I've had it for a while and do really want to read it, but I've just had so many other books to read. So I'm going to read this one. I think it's set in Wales about some identical twins. Yeah, that's the one. He said it was a good one, so I'm sure I'm really going to enjoy that. That is one book that I'm definitely going to be reading. Now, I've mentioned this before. Me and my friend Will are kind of recommending a book to each other. We did a little swap. We haven't read them yet because of lockdowns, we can't see each other yet. He lives in England, I live in Wales. We'll visit each other at some point, probably December now. All, lockdown, easing, permitting, you know what I mean. But the book that he gave me to read is First Man In by Ant Middleton. Not my usual cup of tea, but I will be reading this before I see him. Let's bloody hope that's before the end of the year, because I can't go without seeing my friends. Honestly, 2020 is not the year for when you and your friends live apart. It's not the one. It's not the one. So I will be reading this hopefully before the end of the year. And other than that, really it's going to be a lot of arcs from NetGalley, which I'm working my way through this month for NetGalley November. And then December is going to be 1,000,001 Christmas books. I keep looking at my books over there. I've got piles of books to read. My Christmas books. One that I'm 100% going to read is One for Christmas by Sarah Morgan. This one only came out this month? Was it this month or last month? It's definitely a very new release. Oh, it doesn't tell me the month. It just says 2020. Cool, we shouldn't say that number, should we? It should be a banned word, I think. But yes, I will be reading One for Christmas by Sarah Morgan. I'm getting into the Christmassy spirit. I've written down all the questions in my notebook. And the next one is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favourite book of the year? Honestly, no. Now, I do think that I've had my end of the year knock your socks off kind of book already. I recently read Secrets She Kept by Kathy Gulkey. This was sent to me by Muddy Pearl Publishers, so, big thanks to them. This book was amazing. This book is basically about Hannah in the 1970s. Her mum, Lizalette, has died, and her mum did, during Nazi Germany in the war. And essentially, each chapter will go kind of back and forth to present time, the 1970s, and which is a long time ago now, and then back to during the war. So it splits between Hannah and Lizalette, and it's about what happened, to her family, her friends. Hannah gets in touch with her granddad, Lizalette's mum, who is still alive. And it is, I don't want to give anything away, because I really want everyone to read this book, but it is so impressive. Like, if you loved The Tattooist of Auschwitz, you will love, love, love this. Like, it is such a powerful book. This is like purely fiction. This is, I'm sure these things all happened, but this is a fiction works. It's not based, like The Tattooist of Auschwitz, on like real stories and everything like that, directly, but it is brilliant. So I don't want to say anything else because I love it too much and I want everyone else to read it and love it just as much as I do. But I would definitely recommend this one. So I think I've had that as my kind of end of the year surprise book. So I don't really think, from what I'm going to read in the end of the year, I don't often get Christmas books that kind of make me be like, oh my gosh, best book ever, because I kind of categorise them as you can only read them in December, and I don't know, those two things don't go together, but my brain, that's how it works. Yeah, so I don't think there's a book that's gonna be, like a new favourite read before the end of this year. I'll read some good books, but nothing that's gonna, make me go wild for it. And the last question, have I started making reading plans for next year? You know I have, you know it. I am such a planner. I have very much started thinking about what I'm going to read next year. Like I say, I'm going to be reading, Pride and Prejudice. I'm going to go through the Holly Martin series. I've got some Twisted Tale books to read. I want to reread some Jodie Peacock books next year. I've got so many series that I've started and not finished, like the Noughts and Crosses series. I'm looking around on my bookshelves now. And what's behind me? I want to read more Agatha Christie books. I can see books over there that I've bought, like On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. I'm really excited to read that. I wish I'd read it already, but there's just too many books in the world for me to read. The Lido. What else have we got? I don't know. I've got quite a lot that I want to read, you know, next year. I've got a lot to work through. So many unread books on my shelves, and so many that are like coming out and I know I'm going to purchase. So many that I've ordered. There's no stopping me. I'm still not sure what my reading target is going to be for next year yet. So, you know, watch this space. Anyway, that is the end of the tag and the end of my questioning. Thank you very much for watching. Like I say, like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And I guess I'll see you all soon. Happy reading. Bye.